talk therapy.
Lately I've been thinking a lot about my childhood. There are things I never really dealt with, like moments I brushed off, but they stayed with me. Little wounds that still echo in how I act today. Have you ever felt that way? Like your younger self still needs something? Sometimes I feel like I'm still trying to prove I'm good enough. And that's not from now, it's from back then. I didn't know how much of my inner child still lives in me. But I want to learn how to take care of her.
I feel that deeply. It's wild how much of our adult struggles tie back to childhood pain. The way we avoid conflict, crave validation, or shrink ourselves. So much of it started with how we were spoken to as kids. I used to think healing was about fixing myself. But now I see it's more about reconnecting with that inner child, listening to her, holding her, letting her be heard and loved. She was never broken, just unheard. And now it's our job to give her a voice.
That's so beautifully put. Reconnecting instead of fixing. I think I used to see that younger version of me as weak, too sensitive, too needy. But now I see she just wanted love. And I ignored her because I didn't want to seem dramatic. But maybe what I needed was someone to say, it's okay to feel, you matter. Even now, I still crave that permission. So I'm learning to say it to myself, over and over until it feels true.
Exactly. I think we've all told our inner child to get over it at some point. But healing starts when we stop dismissing those early feelings. I started writing letters to my younger self. Sometimes I cry, sometimes I laugh, but it's always powerful. Because in those letters, I finally say the things I needed to hear. Like, you were never too much, and you didn't deserve to be ignored. It's strange how writing to the past helps reshape the present. But it does. It really does.
I love that idea, writing letters. Maybe I'll try that too. There's something so healing about finally speaking the words. Sometimes I imagine myself hugging her, my younger self, telling her, you did your best. Because she really did. She survived things that were way too big for her, and all she wanted was safety and love. That's not weakness. That's courage. And she deserves to be celebrated.
Yes, and you know what else? She still is you. We carry that little girl with us everywhere. When you hesitate to speak up, she's scared. When you get anxious over small things, she's trying to protect you. And when you show kindness, you're giving her what she needed. That awareness changed everything for me. It made me more patient, more understanding with myself, because I'm not just healing, I'm parenting my inner child. And that's the most powerful kind of self love.
That's such a shift, thinking of myself as both me and a parent, but it makes sense. No one else is coming to fix what was missed. It's on us now. And that's not sad, it's empowering. It's like finally taking the wheel and saying, okay, I've got you now. No more hiding, no more shame. Just showing up for that little girl as someone she can trust, someone who won't abandon her again.
Yes, exactly. And they do that by listening gently, not pushing her away when she's scared or sad. Sometimes healing looks like resting instead of forcing, or saying no instead of pleasing, or crying without guilt. It's slow work and messy sometimes. But every small act of kindness toward ourselves.
It tells her she matters, that she's finally safe. And that's what heals her most.
I used to think being strong meant not needing anyone. But now I see my inner child needed connection most. She didn't want perfection, just presence. Someone to say, I see you. And I'm finally learning to give her that. I still catch myself slipping into old patterns, shutting down, pretending I'm fine. But now I pause and ask, what are you really feeling? It's like having a quiet conversation inside myself. And that makes all the difference.
That's so true. Our strength isn't in silence, it's in self awareness. I used to feel ashamed for needing comfort, like I should just stuff it out. But now I know that comforting myself is a skill. It's not weakness, it's wisdom. I talk to myself like I talk to a child, with kindness, with patience. Even if I mess up, I remind myself I'm learning. That alone has softened so much inner pain. We become our own safe place.
That's what I want to be. My own safe place. No more trying to earn love by overworking or overgiving. No more letting fear run the show. My inner child doesn't need hustle. She needs hugs and boundaries and space to just be. Sometimes I picture her dancing barefoot in the grass, and I try to live in a way that would make her smile. Not to impress others, but to honor her. Because she's the part of me that remembers joy, and I want to protect that.
That thing which is beautiful. I do something similar. I imagine my little self painting freely, laughing, totally unbothered. And I think, how can I give her more of that now? Even in small ways, like taking walks or watching clouds. It's not silly, it's sacred. It's how we recover wonder and peace. The world tells us to grow up and toughen up. But healing says, grow deeper, soften wisely. And I choose that path every day.
You're right, softening takes more courage than building walls. I spent years being the strong one. But that version of me was exhausted. What I needed was to feel held, not admired. Now, when I journal, I try to let my inner child speak. She usually says, "Please slow down." And I'm finally listening. She's teaching me how to rest without guilt, how to be proud without needing applause, and how to love without abandoning myself.
Wow, I felt that so much. I relate to the strong unmask. It protected me, but it also isolated me. Now I want connection over performance, authenticity over image. I think our inner child just wants us to be real, to cry when we're sad and laugh when we're joyful. Not filtered, not edited, just honest. And the more I do that, the more peace I find in simply being me.
It's wild how much healing happens in honesty, not just with others, but with ourselves. I used to avoid memories that made me uncomfortable, but now I sit with them gently. I tell that little girl, "You were so brave." Even if no one saw it back then, I see it now. And that changes everything. She's not just a chapter, I carry her with me. So I try to speak to her with love every day, even if it's just a whisper.
Yes, the way we talk to ourselves becomes the way we live. So I've been choosing words that heal, like you're enough, you're safe, you're loved. Sometimes I say it aloud just to feel it deeper. Our brains are always listening.
Do you ever notice how your body responds to? Like, when I'm hard on myself, my chest tightens. But when I offer compassion, I feel lighter. It's like my inner child sighs in relief. She's been carrying so much. All the "be good" and "don't cry" and "be perfect" messages. Now, I'm telling her it's okay to be messy, to take up space, to feel it all. And that's been so freeing.
Absolutely. The body keeps the score, right? I've noticed when I rest, my breath deepens. When I dance, I feel joy ripple through me. And when I cry, it's not weakness, it's release. My inner child responds to softness, to laughter, to play, to music. So I try to give her those things, not as a reward, but as a right. Because healing doesn't mean fixing pain, it means creating safety where pain once lived.
That's the most beautiful thing I've heard today. Creating safety where pain once lived. That's exactly what I'm aiming for. Because no matter how much I achieve, it won't matter if I still feel unsafe inside. I want to be grounded, not just busy, whole, not just functioning. And that starts with honoring the scared parts of me, not judging them, just holding them, like I would hold a child who's had a bad dream.
Yes, that's the difference between coping and healing. Coping pushes through, healing pauses, listens, and nurtures. I used to cope by overworking or pleasing people. Now I'm learning to breathe, journal, and be, and my inner child is responding. She feels less scared, less alone. She trusts me more. And that trust, that's the start of everything changing, inside and out.
You know what's beautiful? We're not doing this alone. Even just having this conversation feels healing. Because our inner children get to feel seen together. Like yours and mine are sitting here, listening, nodding, smiling, feeling less strange. That matters more than we realize. Healing in community hits differently. It's like we're rewriting our stories side by side. And that's something I'll always be grateful for.
Same here. This friendship is part of my healing. We remind each other that softness is strength, that we're not broken, we're becoming. And that gives me so much hope for who we are now and who we're still becoming. Our inner children chose each other too. And that's why we're growing so beautifully. This space we've created, it's sacred. And I'll always protect it with everything I've got. For me, for you, for her.
So here's to all the little girls we used to be, to their courage, even when no one saw it, to their dreams, their fears, their hope. They made it here, through so much, and now they're finally safe. Not because the world changed, but because we did. We're choosing love over fear every single day, and we're doing it together. That's real healing.
Yes, to them, to us, to this journey. Healing the inner child isn't a one-time event. It's a daily choice to be kind, soft, and real. To listen instead of judge. To slow down instead of push. To believe in ourselves again. We may still have hard days, but now we have tools and each other. That's more than enough. That's everything.